We just had two of the biggest NFL reporters in Adam Schefter and Ian Rapoport drop a bunch of nuggets about the NFL trade market and everything else in between, and pertaining specifically also to the Chicago Bears that I will get into and more. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Style back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below. Please make sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Let's give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, ProfitX. ProfitX is America's #1 sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of the books. And because of that, you will almost always get the best price on any total spreads, money lines, and player props playing on the site because you're playing against other peers instead of the books. And guys, right now, if you use my promo code FST, you can claim up to $200 in profit cash on your first 30 days playing on the site, guys. When real money predicting sports. Terms and conditions apply. All right, so I got a bunch of info here for you guys that I cannot wait to share. So both Schefter and Rap over the weekend, dropped a bunch of nuggets here as far as what's going on with the NFL trade deadline, which is coming up on November 4th here. And basically, the sentiment is that it will be pretty active. That is what they're saying. Now, there are some guys that are going to be off the market, some guys that aren't. One guy notable, Ian Rapoport called out, which was Alvin Kamara. He basically came out with an article just saying that, the Saints don't expect to trade Alvin Kamara. He wants to basically retire with the Saints, and he isn't expected to go anywhere now. I have basically, talked about this before, and, I think this was kind of reported a little bit, but now, Rapoport really came out and just said it. And, the Saints can do what they want, man, but it's like, all right, are you trying to just be competitive? Like what? Like, Alvin Kamara is a great piece. Is he a legend in New Orleans like a Drew Brees? I don't know. But my point is, I think they would be better suited to grab some assets for Alvin Kamara before his play completely falls off, and you maybe give leeway to Kendrick Miller. But again, that's where I'm at with it. But the Saints aren't going to do that, and they're going to keep Alvin Kamara, and so he's pretty much, that's what he's saying, going to be off the market. But then it's so funny because Adam Schefter comes out and literally puts out an article with a list of trade candidates. Guys, check this out because I want to go through this list with you guys. So he literally listed out potential NFL trade candidates, and he said, here's some candidates that NFL front office executives and coaches believe could be available ahead of this year's trade deadline. Okay, so here's a full list here. We got guys like Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, like I just mentioned. Rap is saying that he's not available. Schefter's saying he still could potentially be available. We'll see. Jalen Wright, Devin Singletary, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Jacoby Myers, Alan Lazard, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks, Mark Andrews, David Njoku, Chigo Okonkwo, Evan Neal, Joel Batoni, Wyatt Teller, Ethan Posich, Kevin Zeitler, Trey Hendrickson, Keon White, Cameron Jordan, Shelby Harris, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Arden Key, Anthony Jennings, Draymond Jones, Reek Woolen, Roger McCreary, Kyle Duggar, and Tony Adams. So that's a massive list right there that Schefter just put out there. So just, going off of that list and just scanning it, and I'm like, okay, who are the guys that really stand out, right? Going through this list, and obviously you guys heard what I said when I mentioned Trey Hendrickson's name. He is clearly a guy that I would love to have on this team, depending on the price. It would certainly help a lot for sure. And then, there's other guys on here like a Bradley Chubb, potentially, and Arden Key. And another guy, by the way, that isn't on this list that Rapoport mentioned that could be available is Carl Granderson, defensive end for the Saints. He's 28 years old. He's had at least 5.5 sacks in each of his last 3 years. He's already got 4.5 sacks on the season. He would be a guy that I would be interested in, certainly, to upgrade this pass rush for sure. And then again, as far as the other, kind of players here, I talked about Breece Hall. Would love to have him. No thanks on guys like Jalen Wright or Devin Singletary. We don't need a receiver or a tight end, so I'm skipping over those guys. We're good sort of with the offensive line. So yeah, it's really just the defensive ends, and it's the running backs, and maybe the D tackles. So yeah, you know, Trey Hendrickson top of the list. Cam Jordan, he's really old at this point, so it's like, you know, does he even have much left in the tank? Would you even want him? He kind of seems like a guy who would be good for like a championship contender, not a team like the Bears and where they are. But yeah, certainly I feel like there are guys out there to be had. And I know, you know, guys like Brad Biggs and other Bears reporters potentially are saying the Bears are going to stand pat. Folks, we got some time here between now and the NFL trade deadline on November 5th. Things could change. A lot of things could change, all right? All it takes is a couple of games going left or right, or a couple of players not performing well for you to reassess everything. So yes, I would love to have Breece Hall if the Jets are selling. Absolutely. I would love to have Trey Hendrickson. Those are like the top two targets based on positional needs for me right now. And then everyone else is kind of second tier, right? The Bradley Chubbs of the world, the Arden Keys, the Carl Grandersons, the Alvin Kamara's of the world. So to me, I'm not as interested in all those other guys. I feel like the impact players are the ones that I mentioned, Breece Hall and Trey Hendrickson. As far as what it would take to get them, that's the real question. I think certainly you could get Breece Hall for much less than it would take to get a Trey Hendrickson potentially. But man, oh man, would I love either. So yeah, I think it is going to be a active trade deadline like Schefter and like Rapoport are saying. It's just a matter of, do the Bears make a move? And I hope they do. I hope they look to go ahead and upgrade here somewhat at some key positions, specifically running back. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys want from this list of players listed here? Let me know down in the comments below as always. Thanks for watching.